Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Very exciting news for Newcastle fans this morning. I am reporting live from the coast, but not the east coast, the west coast. I'm actually away for the weekend. Nice, quiet. That I'm actually ruining by shouting to you guys through my camera, but it's worth it because, as reported by Fabrizio Romano just 2-3 minutes ago, this Saturday morning, Bruno Guimaraes has now officially signed a new contract with Newcastle United. This is one that has been spoken about for, well, pretty much a year or so. Pretty much since Bruno's signed, it's been talked about as to when is he going to have, after he came in and, helped save the club from relegation, had the fantastic Champions League top 4 season last season. Now in the Champions League, we've kind of heard that the club are making a few moves to extend contracts, reward players, and as we are bringing in the likes of Tonali and bringing in some big players, we all know that kind of spend on the wages was always going to go up and up and up. And Bruno's been I would say a well-discussed topic by Newcastle fans so far this season, with potentially not hitting full throttle yet. And people have said is potentially a reason behind that, this contract stuff in the background, because as I say, Fabrizio Romano was reporting on this kind of at the start of the season, but even prior to that, throughout the summer, there was kind of talks that Bruno was looking at signing a new deal, 200,000 a week deal, one that would make him once again, the top paid player at the club, one that kind of shows that the club are putting their faith in Bruno for the future, but also kind of rewarding him for what he's given to the club so far. And it's good news. It's big news. It's very good news. Something in there that was also quite hot topic amongst fans recently was this kind of idea that Bruno may well have a release clause. And it was actually rumoured, I'll say, that Bruno was holding out for a release clause on the contract, which Newcastle United didn't want to give him. Now, you can kind of look at it one of two ways, because as much as Newcastle are rewarding Bruno, security for the future is a big part as well. And it means that with a longer term deal, if a club did come in this January, this summer, in a couple of years' time, if we hadn't have extended or renewed the contract, Bruno may well be put us in a more difficult position. If 1 year left on the deal, maybe we don't want to sell Bruno. We don't want to let him go. But if we don't take it in a year's time, he'll be worth nothing. So it's kind of, it goes both ways. The club want to secure up our safety for the future, keep a hold of Bruno for as long as we possibly can. But the other way is that, and this has been spoken about since Bruno kind of joined the club, to be honest, that South American player has grown up watching, Liga. He's in Newcastle. He's playing Champions League football. We declined a £100 million offer for Bruno from Liverpool in the summer. And that was kind of one thing that I thought we could maybe see. And we'll have to wait on the full detail of exactly the ins and outs of what the contract is exactly. Aside from a longer extension, a bump in pay packet, it's being reported by Fabrizio Romano that there is also a 100 million release clause as well. Now, I'd been chatting with a few of the lads about this, and I'd kind of said, if he wants a release clause, look, okay, but for clubs outside the Premier League, that's the thing, is Liverpool offered 100 million last summer. Obviously, just because they offer the money and we are contractually obliged to accept it, doesn't mean that Bruno accepts it. And I'd like to think to move, from one club to another, it would be because it's almost like in good faith that we're kind of saying, yeah, okay, if a big deal did come in from Barcelona, from Real Madrid, from Bayern Munich, you know, or I think it's Madrid really. I think that's probably what, and we know there was links with Bruno and Madrid kind of in the summer as well. So that's the one that everyone's eyes are kind of are pointing straight towards. And I think that's probably what Bruno's thinking. And I hope it's not this summer coming. I hope it's not the one after that. But I think as Newcastle fans, one thing that is going to change for us over the next few seasons, as we start to bring in some of these elite players, is that other teams are going to want them. You know, it's going to be slightly different to maybe the summer that we're just coming out the back of now, where we're trying to give Ryan Fraser away, you know, and we're trying to get Hendrick out, we're trying to get Hayden out. It's going to become an actual market. It's going to become an actual in and out market, right? So if we sell him for him, we don't really want to let him go. You know, it's just football, and it is sad because I think you have your favourites, and you know, I'm talking about it like it's going to happen anytime soon. I don't think so. You know, I don't think so. I think it's very much a couple of seasons' time. But that's why I think, or it's rumoured, that was why it was taking a bit longer to get it done than it possibly was. I think Bruno wanted the contract. Bruno wanted to sign it. He wanted the extra money, and Newcastle wanted to give it to him. It was this idea of that he was also trying to say, well, if I change my mind in 2-3 years' time, and you just, because that's the thing, we don't have to sell him. That's the switch, and we can get 200 million off of for Bruno, like one day before the end of the window. Honestly, I know the Salah one happened with Liverpool, like 215 million for Salah, and you're thinking, God, like how do you not take that offer? But one day before the season, like if that was Bruno, 200 million comes in, you're going, our first time in the Champions League in 20 years, and we've just had a humongous bid for a player that's like out of this world, really. Like, you could go as far as say, is any player worth 200 million? Like, it's so much. And you think of FFP, 200 million would give us $1 billion to spend over the next 3-4 years. Like, it's incredible. But do you take it? I don't know if you do, because it would totally change how we've played all of our football over the last 2 years. It would scupper our chances of another fantastic season. So that's the thing, we don't have to accept these offers. We already declined the Liverpool one, and because of that, Bruno knows that. He's thinking in 2-3 years time, and Madrid come knocking, and Newcastle are like, nah, no, we want to keep you. So it's a bit of both. But yeah, what we'll concentrate on for now is the fact that it's a good deal for Bruno, for Newcastle. It secures a little bit of more of his future at the club for us. And it hopefully, you know, if the reason Bruno hasn't been hitting into 3rd, 4th, 5th gear yet is because of behind the scenes talk or whatever, hopefully that will get rid of that off the field stress and get him, you know, fully focused on connecting with Tonali on the pitch. Looks like they're getting on well off the pitch. So would love to see Bruno and Willock back as well, to be fair. But yeah, get him going, fired up, new contract in. Let's kick it off with a big bang against Sheffield United tomorrow. Man City on Tuesday. There's a lot of football coming up. Let's make it all count. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video with some lovely background. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you later.